I've decided that every morning I'm going to wake up, I'm going to tell you a mini series of how I moved to Sweden, how everything went. So today I'm going to tell you the first days when I arrived. So this is how I came to Sweden. You ready? You ready? Take your tea, take your water, take your popcorn, sit down. Let's dive into the story. I moved to Sweden in 2012 in December, and before I moved to Sweden, I was just a Ugandan girl, never left Uganda before. I remember someone asking me one time, like, do you go for holidays? I'm like, what do you mean, do I go for holidays? Yeah, when I leave school, we come home for holidays. I'm like, no, holidays, like, go to another country. I say, okay, I go to another country and do what? They're like, yeah, like go to the beach. I'm like, but we have beaches in Uganda. Why should I go to another country for that? Oh, like tour other places and whatever. I say, okay, what am I going to see there? Eat food, but we have food in Uganda, you know. I had that kind of mentality because for us in Uganda, holidays are more like you leave school, you go to school, because we go to boarding schools there. When we reach a certain age, when we pass like P7, and then we go to secondary school. I think here it's called gymnasium in Sweden. I don't know. So we always go for boarding schools, and we spend all our time in boarding schools. And for us, holiday is when you leave school and you come home. So we didn't know these things of holiday, I'm going to another country or whatever. And the only time we traveled is when you're going to visit like a relative. We didn't just wake up in the morning and say, oh, today I want to go, I'm going to travel and go over there. No. I would go to the capital city because a relative lives there. Or I would go to another district, or here it's a commune, or in America it's a state, because someone lives there. So we didn't have that mentality of really traveling. And I've always been someone who is safe where I am. Like, I feel safe where I am. If I am safe here, I don't want to go over there and try. Like, I'm already safe here. Why should I leave my safe zone and go to another place? No. I liked my comfort zone so much. Like, for me, when I'm comfortable somewhere, I am comfortable. I don't want to leave it. Anyway, I had both my daughters in Uganda, and I had no need to like travel anywhere. I was comfortable. Like, I had this big house. I had a chauffeur. I had a gardener. I had a living nanny. I had a living maid. I had like 4 people working for me. And mind you, I don't even have a job. Okay? I just wake up in the morning, take a shower, get ready, drive the car maybe to the salon or do something. I was living my best life, having 2 babies that the maids were taking care of. I only breastfed them, but yeah. Anyway, so here is how I moved to Europe. There, the father of my kids was like, you know what? Let's move to Europe. I'm like, move to Europe? Yeah, let's move to Sweden. I said, no, I don't want to move to Sweden. Why should I move there? He's like, yeah, let's move there. I'm like, no, I don't want to go. He started showing me pictures, showing me all these nice places, trying to lure me and whatever. And listen, my whole family is in Africa. Okay, I don't want to move anywhere. I just want to be there. Everyone is in Uganda. I've never left my country before, so I am scared. Like, why should I leave and come to a place that I don't know, So anyway, he tries to convince me for more than 6 months. I'm like, look, you're putting me in this stress. You know what we should do is let's go for Christmas. Okay, let's go for Christmas, and then once I like it over there, then we will move. But let's first go for Christmas. He was like, yeah, now I got my opportunity. Now she's coming. Me, I didn't know anything. I just refused to come for the convincing me, like, look at the schools, the kids are going to be safe, it's going to be nice for the children. I'm like, how are the kids going to be safe over there? Like, are they not safe here? They are safe here. Mind you, I don't know anything about the cultures here. I don't know nothing. So we agree that we are coming for Christmas. We make the visa. I think it took us like 2 weeks for me to get a visa, and I remember very well that they gave me a Scandinavian visa for 3 weeks. So I'm packing. We were only supposed to come for 2 weeks. So just imagine you're coming for 2 weeks and you're going to go back, because now we are coming in the winter. I never left. I didn't even know it's winter, or I didn't know it was cold. Nothing, because I've never left my country, and I'm not someone who is curious, who is going to look in the internet. Those days, the internet was bad. We were not even watching YouTube or anything. Like, you don't know anything about a country. Before I met the father of my kids, I didn't even know that there is a country that exists that is called Sweden or Finland or Denmark. I only knew London and America. That's the only countries I knew. It's not about being ignorant. They didn't teach us at school, okay? They only taught us about London. Anyway, putting that aside, I pack for 2 weeks. I tell my family, like, yeah, we are going for Christmas for 2 weeks. We are coming back. Now, listen, you have a whole house. You have workers you have left behind. And guys, guess what? We fly. We arrive at Copenhagen Airport. As soon as the plane landed, the whole place was gray, and I felt like, Jesus, no, I don't want to leave the plane. I want to go back. And then I just started panicking. And then in my mind, I'm like, you know what? It's only 2 weeks. Get out of the plane and just go search for those 2 weeks. Like this, as soon as I arrived, I was like, what kind of place is this? You know, I come from a very, very religious family. Like, we pray a lot. And right now in my family, I'm the only black sheep. 3 of my uncles, one of my uncle has a church. The other uncle is studying to be a reverend, a priest, or that's how you call it. The other uncle is also a priest of some sort. Everybody at our family, our grandmother was very religious. You had to go to church every day, every morning, or whatever. So, of course, they taught us about heaven and hell. And they told us that heaven is this place with green pastures. Like, it's so green, it's beautiful, it has fruits, it has fresh food, it's so nice. And then hell is this place where it's gray and gloomy, and sometimes there's nice things there, but people there are not happy. Everything is deep. You know what I mean? So when I arrived, I was like, God, am I in hell? What is this place? And that day, the weather was so bad. In 2012, guys, you Google. In 2012 was the worst winter in Scandinavia. It was so bad. And that's the time I come to this Europe. You guys. So we arrive. And once we arrive, his mother picks us up in this small little car. I remember very well. Picks us up from the airport. Everything is cold. Everything is just, I am just here. I'm like, okay, Karina, 2 weeks. 2 weeks is not bad. My Elizabeth was just only 8 months old, mind you. Andrea was like, I think 2 years old at that time. And when they picked us up, we started driving. And I'm seeing the houses. I'm like, what kind of houses are these? They're all like, I look at that. I'm like, Jesus, the houses are funny. Like, they don't have taste. And you know the houses in Uganda. People in Uganda put a lot of effort for the houses to look so nice, the outside. And in Uganda, the houses are in gates. They have like wall fences. And here, the houses are not in gate or wall fences or whatever. The houses are just built like that. I'm like, what is this? I'm going and everything is foggy and everything it's cold, it's freezing. And remember, now I'm from Africa. My coldest I've ever been is like 18 degrees. That's when I'm like at home, like, oh, it's so cold, we need a blanket. And here I'm on like minus something degrees. And of course, I didn't bring good, good outfits for the weather because I didn't know. So we arrived, everything was just gloomy and bad. I'm like, okay, Karina, breathe. It's 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks. Have you ever arrived to a place and then you just hated it right away? So we stayed at the mother's house. Christmas came. For us, Christmas back home is a very big deal when it comes to Christmas. Christmas back in Uganda, or should I talk about in my family or my tribe, is when everybody gathers together and people buy food and then we play music all night and dance and drink sodas and drink alcohol. But in my family, because we were religious, we drank a lot of sodas, the kids. And Christmas was the best days of my life when I was living in Africa. When I was growing up, it was the best days because you get to see everybody. And in my family, we grew up 15 to 20 people every single time. That was us at home. 15 to 20 people all the time. So anyway, when it's Christmas back home, it's more like maybe we are like 50, we are like 100, because the village I was living in, we were all related. We are like the same clan. Like even up to now, that whole village, we are all related. We are the same clan. When I go back home now for Christmas, I have to like order a tent. I have to like kill a cow, unalive a cow. How do you say it? Unalive a cow and some 4 goats for the food to be enough for everybody. So anyway, we arrive and Christmas Day comes. And here I think the Christmas is very intimate. They have it on the 24th, not even on the 25th. So now just imagine my emotions when I arrived, and now it's Christmas Day as well. Telling you, they sat around the Christmas tree. They had some presents, and it was only family. We were like, let me remember, for plus me, maybe like 8 people. And the music was so down. They had food, and then they had just like 1 glass of wine each. That's the tradition in Denmark. Like you have to eat food and then just have 1 glass of wine, and then you open presents. The music has to be low, okay? Not loud music like where I come from, where it has to be boom, 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 boom. No. It has to be low music. And then you have to open presents. That was like the most boring Christmas I've ever had in my life. Like it was so boring that I told people, like, I told my family, I said, listen, even my mother's funeral was a little bit more fun than that Christmas. I'm not even lying. I know it's too extreme to say like that, but that's how boring it was. At least my mother's funeral, I could sit, cry, and see someone doing something funny, and I try to giggle a little. But we started, the Christmas celebration started at 2. We ate food. People were mingling, talking the language. I couldn't even speak the language. I didn't even understand what they were talking about. Inside me, I was furious. I just wanted to go back home. I just wanted to leave. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, it has been 4 days. Okay, 4 days, 10 more days to go, and I'm out of this nightmare and stuff. So Christmas, we ate, and then in the evening around, because in the winter here in Scandinavia, in the winter, it gets dark at 3 o'clock. At 3 o'clock, it was already dark. I'm like, okay, what do we do? At around 4 o'clock, they make the kids open the presents and stuff, and the other thing, the reason we also came is to baptize the children, because the children were not baptized in Uganda. The children had to be baptized here in Denmark or something. So when Um, at 4 o'clock, back to the story, we opened the presents. People looked at the presents. They talked a little bit. Guys, at 6 o'clock, Christmas was over. The place is quiet now. Everyone is just doing their things. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, is this even a Christmas celebration? Like, come on. Like, it's only food, drinking a glass of wine, and opening presents, and that's it? Like, that's it? Like, give me something more. Anyway, I'm like, like I was raised and I was taught, like, if you go to someone's house and they're eating a rat, you gotta eat a rat with them too, because that is respect. I'm like, yeah, maybe that's how they have their Christmas, but it's pretty boring. Anyway, Christmas ends. I'm just consoling myself, like, Krina, 10 days to go. And then you go back home to the good weather. And in my mind, I'm like, when I go back, I will never, ever come back here again. Never. You guys, I'm, of course, communicating to my family once in a while. And then my auntie, she was in parliament those days. She was a member of parliament. The family said, oh, you have to make sure that, please, can you go over there and see just how it's going so she can come back home and things like that. My family, of course, they were like, she went to another country. She's far away from us and we don't know what is going on. Anyway, the kids were baptized. Then the father of the kids was like, okay, we are going to take a drive to Sweden. I'm like, oh, taking a drive to Sweden? Okay, let's take a drive. Me, guys, remember I packed for 2 weeks. If I think about that, tears start coming out of my, So he says, like, we are going to take a drive to Sweden. I'm like, okay, let's take a drive to Sweden. We took a drive to Sweden with the kids, and when we arrived here, I think we should leave this one here for today, guys. Today, let's just leave the story here, and then we're going to have a part 2 tomorrow. I'll be posting every single day, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. But we came to Sweden, and I'll tell you tomorrow what happened when we came to Sweden. Okay? Thank you for being here, and for you not to miss the rest of the stories, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like the video, share if you've loved it, and keep checking if I have posted. But like I said, I am going to give you a mini series every day of how I came to Sweden, how I struggled, how I survived, and up to where I am today. So it's going to be a mini series of 1, 2, 3, 4. Until tomorrow, wait for part 2, and thank you for being here. And please tap on that like button, share. Thank you so much. Bye.